Welcome to the Quimby Chronicles Momcast, where we talk about all things motherhood, family, and keeping your sanity through it all. In today's conversation, we're discussing what it's like to parent children of different ages and stages. Ready to join the conversation? Come on in. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Quimby Chronicles Momcast. I'm your host, Traci. And as always, I'm here with my wonderful co-host, my daughter, Chante.
Hey guys, we are extremely excited about today's episode. We're going to be diving into the topic of raising kids through all of the ages and stages, all the things that go along with it, the ins and outs, all that good stuff. And you guys already know, between the both of us, we have all the stages possible covered, all of them, every single one. So,
I know that's right, because I got a full house with an 18, a 16-year-old, my 5-year-old niece, and a 6-year-old daughter, and then my 23-year-old daughter, who's also raising her family. She has a 1-year-old baby girl and a 3-year-old son, that she's husband. Look, I got to get my life together because Luca, okay?
Okay, guys, so I'm going to start first since I am the half of this dynamic duo that has the younger kids. We're going to start with my 1-year-old. My daughter, she turned 1 back in December, the beginning of December. And when I tell you I'm just now able to start, catching my breath, actually feeling a moment of peace, like I'm just now starting to get my bearings back. So just so you know, that newborn stage, it definitely is a whirlwind, a tsunami, whatever you want to call it. It is everything all in all. So the first 12 months of motherhood, whether it's your first time, second time, third time, whatever, it's going to be rough regardless. It doesn't matter if you've done this 6 times or it's your first time, because like they say, each pregnancy, each child's, whatever the case may be, each one is different.
That's right.
Each one.
I know that's right. Girl, you ain't lying. Because I remember those days with all. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, okay? The newborns are precious. They're very precious. However, okay? They'll have you questioning life, okay? Because it'll be like, that's you, like, am I going to sleep again? Ever? Like, ever? Yeah, they'll have you questioning life. Mm-mm.
Definitely, because my daughter, like I said, she just turned 1 a couple months, well, actually a month and some change ago. And all the sleepless nights and getting up to feed her, and especially in my particular situation, I was doing a good chunk of it on, like, I wouldn't say by myself, because I definitely still had family there helping out and things like that. But it was definitely tough not having my husband there, as opposed to when Luca was born. Obviously, he was there more, but this time with him being away, the I would say everything that you have to go through, it's definitely worth it to get to experience, the kids that you create. You get to watch them grow up, interact, and you literally see them get smarter every day. And
Right.
I just love that. I definitely wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah. So, what do you think your biggest takeaway from this stage has been?
To accept help when it is offered. Because I'm telling you guys, if you know anything about me, I do not like asking for help unless I know that there is absolutely, positively no way out. Like, I will not ask for help until I hit rock bottom. And that is an issue. And I admit that that is an issue for me. So that's definitely my thing, to accept help when it's offered, whether it's, my husband or, family on both of our sides. Anybody would take the kiss. It's just me, that mom guilt. I'm always like, oh my gosh, I need a break. I need a break. The minute I get a break, I want my babies. Where are my babies? Send me pictures. Let me FaceTime them. Like, I definitely need to start giving myself some grace and actually take some time to step away and, let myself breathe, give myself that peace again, because it's definitely needed when
Right.
being a mother. You need your peace. You need your me time. 1000%.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's good advice. And for all the new moms out there listening, honey, let me tell you, okay, you are doing a great job. I know it doesn't always feel like it, and don't worry, there's going to be plenty of moments when you feel like it. But, during the infant stage is definitely very tough. But the takeaway is that you have these wonderful moments where you get to see their first smile, that first laugh, them sitting up, so it's just like everything else, it's tough, but then you have your silver lining. So, embrace it. All right, so now that we've got the infant stage out of the way, let's move on to the toddler stage, okay? Because this is where things get really interesting. Now, I know my boy Luca has you on your toes, right? Right.
Absolutely, positively, all of the words, because he's definitely at the, because if you guys don't know, my son is obsessed with anything to do with Spider-Man. I kid you not, anything to do with Spider-Man. He's at this stage where he feels like he needs to jump off of everything. Every 2 seconds, mom, look, jumps. Mom, look, jumps. And I like, I am sitting here just having this little mini heart attack every time, because he has the whole way that he does it, he has all of it planned out. He'll put pillows at the bottom of the stairs. Mom, look, and then jump down like 5 steps. Because why did you feel the need to do that? Why? But it's definitely rewarding to, watch him still grow, because he was like my small little baby, and now he's just this little independent toddler. And hearing him say new words, or words that he used to pronounce funny, he says them perfectly clear now, and I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. And he's definitely in that stage of exploring his independence. When he's getting dressed, mom, I can do it. Mom, I can do it. And he learned how to make his bed. He knows how to dress and undress himself. He knows how to brush his teeth.
I know that.
He's out here doing his thing. And I still help him here and there, because obviously, toddlers, they get frustrated. But for the most part, he's doing really well exploring his independence and, becoming his own little person. I am so happy I get to watch this whole process, because if I had told past me, no, if past me had told future me that all this was going to happen, I'm like, oh, no way, my sweet little baby boy. Like, no, 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 no. What do you mean? He's still my sweet baby that I hold in my arms. Like, what are we talking about right now? No. If I could stop time, I really would. I really would.
Yeah, the toddler stage is such a sweet stage. I remember when you were a toddler, you were definitely very curious about everything. Um, Matter of fact, I probably have some pictures from when she was a toddler. Y'all want to see them?
Probably.
Got them.
You know what? We're going to find some pictures of me and put them side by side with my son, because everyone says my son is my twin. I'm telling you, these random things that he will do, those pictures, they will be put side by side. And I'm telling you, you won't even know who is who.
Because I definitely have a picture of her getting into a suitcase. Um,
I was getting ready to go for a trip. Like,
yeah, I have some toddler Chante picture. So yeah, I mean the toddler stage is very it's a very interesting stage, because they're like teetering between, you're like, oh well, they were just an infant and now they're so curious about everything. But let me tell you something, okay? Let's go on and admit that the toddler tantrums, okay, because no, they are no joke, no joke.
definitely not, because I would be wanting to scream, cry, and drop to the ground just like he does. But honestly, for me, it's definitely what helps is keeping those boundaries. So when I tell him no to something, no is no.
It's
Because
the drop it to the, I'm sorry. It's drop it to the ground. Me, imagine you drop it to the ground at your big age. I pick it. I pick
everyone to drop down to the ground too. Oh, everyone to do it too. Because what are you mad for? What are you mad for?
that is too funny.
It's so raggedy.
That is too funny.
What part did you want me to start at?
No, you could go ahead and continue.
Okay. My thing that helps me with the whole toddler tantrum thing is, as they say, standing on business. So when I say no, that means no, because Luke is in the stage where if I say no to something, he'll go and ask his dad. And 9 times out of 10, his dad won't know that I already told him no. Luca would just go and ask him like he's asking for the third time. You guys know how kids do. He's already at that stage. Yay me. Love that. Woohoo. But it's definitely about staying consistent, and when he's throwing the tantrums and acting like that to get attention, I can't give in to the type of attention that he's wanting.
Right.
Because then he's going to think, oh yeah, so if I drop to the ground and start screaming, crying, and throwing up, then everything's gonna be cool, and I'm just gonna get what I want. But no, sir. You can get a tissue, you can get some water, and then you can go and sit down and color whatever you feel like doing. You're just not getting whatever was said no to in the first place. So definitely structures, routine, boundaries, those are all very important and would definitely help, because toddlers thrive on predictability. They think, oh, well, I did this last time, so it's going to work again this time. But no. You got to nip that in the bud, cut it out,
Absolutely.
tissue, water, get you a little cracker or something, and just mellow out. Woosah. I teach Luca to take deep breaths when he's having his tantrums, so that definitely helps a lot. If that helps anyone out there, breathing exercises, toddlers love it because they like to mimic you, so they love it.
Exactly. And for all the toddler moms out there, I know sometimes we take these things personal that these kids do, and we feel like the kids are giving us a hard time. But toddlers, they're not giving us a hard time. They're just trying to figure out this world. They're trying to figure out what's what. They have this newfound independence, these new abilities. So the thing for them is that they're having a hard time. So, we have to be conscious of that, and we definitely have to be patient with them. So with the toddlers, I've learned that patience is definitely key. Okay, so now we're at the early childhood years, and we're going to talk about my 6-year-old daughter and my 5-year-old niece. Let me tell you something about this stage, okay? Because they're definitely still very curious, but they've gotten more independent, so they're starting to develop their own little personality. I ain't gonna lie to you, they're pretty funny. They are pretty funny. Like, some of the things that they do, it's like I have to walk away and laugh before I come back and I address the situation. Their little personalities are just too much, too much.
But I love that for them. I really do. What's been the most rewarding part of this stage for you? So I know what I could look forward to in my later years.
Right. I think the most rewarding part is seeing their confidence grow when they learn these new skills, like learning to tie their shoes. My daughter, she's starting to read, and my niece,
Oh.
sight words, so they're writing. And when they're able to read a book or read some words or write their names, like, it is their little faces just light up. So I love that for them, and both of them, they're thriving in school. Like, first of all, we already knew they were smart. We knew that they were street smart because they be trying to play the system. But they're also thriving in school and learning so many things about the world, depending on what theme they have going on in school. So our goal is to introduce them to hobbies and different things in sports. They're showing an interest in gymnastics, flipping off. They got my yoga mat down, and they, yeah, doing whatever they be doing. And I know that they be cooking. So that's something that we did introduce them to. So, those are the rewarding things when they're able to do certain things for themselves. That's probably the most rewarding.
Okay, now for the more serious question, what is the hardest part this stage for you?
Yeah. Okay. Number one is twofold. So number one is their energy. When I tell you, these two girls are always on 10. Like, oh, they go to school, they come home, and they're just on 10. Their mouths are going, their feet are going, they're running up and down. Hey, mom, do you want to play with me? Hey, auntie, do you want to play with me? No, we'd be like, no. Haven't you played at school all day? Yeah, but I love to play. No. That's number one. No, is they're in this stage where they're challenging everything. If I say, pick these toys up. Oh, but we were da 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 da. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So, it's tough, but at this point where they're at, we're just like, it's like, no. When I tell you to do something, you need to do it. I don't want to hear what we were going to do, what we just finished doing. Like, I don't care. I don't care. Clean this crap up because no, I don't want to see it. So, those are the two things their energy levels, managing their energy, and, them and challenging and not following directions, but I always have to remind myself this is not going to last forever. So, I definitely soak in the good moments and then those challenging times, like Chante said, deep breaths. Okay. Deep breaths.
Woosah, say your
Okay.
woosahs, talk to
You
Tang, do whatever you need to do.
what? So yeah, I mean, and it's just like any other stage of parenting, patience and just remembering, this isn't gonna last forever and cherishing those moments. All right, so now let's move on to the teen years. So my 18-year-old daughter and my 16-year-old son, they're both in that phase where they're trying to figure out who they are as people and what it is that they want out of life. So they're a lot more independent right now. So it's very challenging, but it's also a very to see, to remember where they started and then to see young woman and young man that they've become. Definitely very exciting.
What would you say has been the biggest shift for you when it comes from going to, the younger kids to the teens?
Letting go. Letting go is probably the most difficult thing I deal with as a parent. Because I've been where they are and I know what the obstacles are. And so often I want to jump in and I want to be like, oh, we'll do this and do that and do this. And I've learned, and I think it's more so my 18-year-old daughter that I learned this way. I learned that I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. And that's it. I'm gonna give you this piece of advice. It's up to you whether you take it or not. So definitely letting go. And I think, with my 18-year-old daughter, the thing is her and punctuality. I had a conversation with her and I was like, because if you know my 18-year-old daughter, honey, she late to everything. She be late everywhere, all the time. So I'm like, I used to fuss about it and I'm like, oh my God. Now I don't even say nothing. The other morning I was going to the gym, and I want to say I left the house at like 9 o'clock. So I walked out. She's still sitting out there in the parking lot. So what did I do? I waved at her. I got in my vehicle and I left. Now I'm not concerned. I already told you what I told you, and you make the decisions. And one thing that I've taught my kids from young is that decisions come with consequences. So the decisions you make are going to determine what the consequences are. So you want these positive consequences, or you want the not so positive consequences. So that's the thing, letting all of the children, especially at 16 and 18, letting them make those decisions and let those consequences hit them because that's the way you learn. So definitely letting them be independent and giving them room to grow.
And how would you say that the communication has changed? The younger kids, they like to yap and they will tell you any and all of your business. How would you say the conversation is when it goes from younger kids to the teens?
Well, it's definitely it varies depending on the child. But once they become teenagers, what communication? Because anything that I talk to, and these two are way worse about it than you were. With you, if I come and I say to you, hey, you know what's going on? I know you've been A, B, C, D, E. you'll take a deep breath and be like, well, but you'll tell me. These two?
Yeah.
And I will, my son is worse than my daughter. My daughter, she may not tell me right then, or she'll be like, nothing, nothing. And then, but eventually she'll come and she'll just like lay in the bed with me. And then she'll just, out of the blue, just start talking about something. I'd be like, wait, what are we talking about? But my son, not at all. Not at all. Like, it has to be something that he just cannot deal with on his own. It has to be something that's overwhelming. So by the time he comes to me, it's like he's on his, it's like the last straw. And I remember I asked him one day, I said, hey, what's going on? You seem like, something's bothering you. Oh, nothing. I was like, are you sure? He said, yeah. I said, well, if it was, would you tell me? He was like, oh, absolutely not. I was like,
Y'all just hit the floor.
yeah. He said, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Would you say
So
it's a boy thing, or like it just varies from teenager to teenager, or what do you think about that?
think I think definitely it varies from teenager to teenager, but I think with him it might be a boy thing
Okay.
because I've never been a teenage boy and I don't know what the struggles are for teenage boys. So, with respect to that, I respect it. I definitely respect his privacy and I will have conversations with him because we've had the STD conversation, we've had the condom conversation. Honey, his friend came over and I said something to his friend about condoms. He was like, "Oh my God, don't act like that. Don't act like that." Because I know better. I know better. So that's the thing. And I try to focus on remaining approachable and just letting them know that I'm there for them when they need me. Every now and again I will be like, "Hey, what's been going on with you? We haven't talked in a while." Like, doing like a little temperature check. But for the most part, I just try to be approachable and remember that, remind them that I'm there for them.
Whew, okay, like guys, it's definitely really crazy to think that, my mom and I were still doing the parenting at, completely different stages. I'm still in the thick of it with the diapers, the tantrums, the bottles, all that fun stuff. And then my mom is dealing with, college decisions, drama at school, the high school, typical high school drama. But what would you say what it's like for you to watch me now raising my own family?
It's crazy. Okay. Crazy. Because to see my baby having babies and, you know, where you've turned this corner where now, like, you're killing it, it makes me really proud. And it also reminds me
Ooh,
of how,
she's gonna make me cry, y'all.
don't do that. But it reminds me of how much I've learned over the years and how I'm still learning things. And every stage has its challenges, but it also definitely has its joys. And honestly, I love being able to share my experiences with you, help you when I can, and also I think my favorite thing to do is when you're going through something, I'd be like, yeah, girl, I've been there. Like, you know, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely so proud of you.
Thank
Um,
you.
rock motherhood. I'm definitely proud of you.
Thank you. And I definitely appreciate it because you definitely saved us a good couple of times. I definitely don't know how you did it with four because me and my two, oh, when I can't like there it's worse than crying and throwing up. Like there has to be a step up from crying and throwing up because that is where I was with my two and I'm just like I cannot imagine doing it with four on top of three out of the four being older. I definitely don't know how you did it, but I for sure applaud because we all came out great. We're all great kids.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's okay. Full circle moment. It's all right.
Let me tell you, it was at a time. Okay, one day, one moment at a time. Because I ain't gonna lie to you. There were some moments where I was just like, oh my God, like what did I sign up for? I was so confused and just you be razzle dazzle some days. But then when it comes to those milestone moments, you got kindergarten graduations, you got high school graduations, your kids start driving. It's just like, so it's definitely up and down, but one day at a time. That's it, one day at a time. So to all the moms out there, whether you're raising a newborn, you have a toddler, kindergartner, teenager, adult child, just know you are doing way better than you think. Us moms, we're so hard on ourselves, and we like to try to live up to these astronomical standards. And I don't know who said that we try to kill ourselves to live up to, but you're doing so much better than you think. And as long as you remember that even though each stage comes with its challenges, they also come with so much joy. So, take the time out to focus on that. Okay? You got this.
That is absolutely right. And remember, no matter where you are in your motherhood journey, you just started it, you've been doing it for some years, it doesn't matter. You're not alone. Whatever you're going through, I guarantee you there's someone out there that's going through the same thing. You're never alone, and we are all just figuring this out together. So just lock in. Just lock in. That's it. Just lock in.
Thanks for tuning into the Quimby Chronicles Momcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, and join us next time as we tackle more of the beautiful chaos that is motherhood.